installment of Piper Duck and Playing in Poop. So, in the last video you saw these girls all go out. Then we brought some more over from the second calvers to this pen, and then there was Mama Flops, had her baby. So they were in there, now they're out. But now that we're getting to the last of the snow is starting to melt, now the ice is starting to melt underneath the bedding. So now, that one's not so bad because it's really deep. This one, this happens every time. Right there, this is just a bog. It's, under the ground is actually quite firm. But it's level, so unless you clear the bedding out of the way, it won't drain. So the bedding sits and soaks it up. So basically we're not quite at the stage where we're going to start piling the bedding, because that's usually once the majority of the cows are out to pasture. But what I will do is I will take all of this area here and pile it up here to let it drain out, and that way we don't have this standing slop for these girls to walk through to the water trough. And then, like right there, our latest calf, there's a gate at the back there that will go through into this pen. So yeah, so that's my little job right now, is just to clear from this drain out here, because up here is fine. Yeah, it needs bedding because it was pouring rain earlier. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, and you clean all this away, pile it up here so it can drain away. And so it begins. So yeah, you probably couldn't hear me very well out there. So yeah, back at it. So last year, this lagoon never actually really filled up. It just got to a point in the fall where we figured we best empty it, ready for spring in case we got a lot of moisture. We got a lot of moisture. Normally, we wouldn't be doing this until, you know, closer to midsummer, most of the time. And we would pump this out onto here when this was bone dry. It's getting dry, but it's not bone dry. But we need to pump at least half of it out, because that's full. That's as full as we want that lagoon ever to get. Because now, that's starting to back up into the pipes that's under the pans, and when it backs up into the pipes, then you get silt settling down in the pipes, and that's never good. You always want the pipes to be running, that way the flow carries any debris out and away into the lagoon, breaks down, gets pumped out as nutrients onto the pasture here. But yeah, lovely job. And yeah, you might sense bit of a rasp in my voice. The whole family has been hit with whatever the heck this is. Two of the family were away to Winnipeg and brought a lovely something back with them, and then me and one of the kids got it too. Lucky enough I haven't had as bad a bark as what the rest of them have had, but it's definitely not pleasant. But chores still got to get done. Cows still got to get looked after. And they've all just had their silage. So yeah, this will probably do a couple of days in here to take it down to the better part of half empty. So it works. So how do you like this? blanket, took on, chittering. Another Colorado storm blowing in, blowing like a bagger. It's May the 14th. I know, girls, just absolutely stupid. Blinking cold and wet and bleary. Just sawed off altogether. Isn't that right, Sigger? Yeah. Most of the cows have quit having babies. They're in a bit of a holding pattern. So you might notice we've changed places. These girls were from that pen over there. Those girls were from this pen. So the 3-year-olds, the second calvers, the ones that are all calved and done, they're away out to the field. So this big pen here was starting to get empty. So now there's only 4 left over there. The youngster that was in this pen here with those 4, that was the one that calved a year old, well, just over a year old. She's in here somewhere because she's supposed to be with these guys. She's their age. So there's 2 second calvers through there, and then there's 2 cows. So yeah, they don't need too much space, but these guys will be going out to the field. They'll get access to the field tomorrow. But yeah, they're sure enjoying this shed though. I don't know, it's like 6 degrees or something out here right now. It's like 1:30 in the morning. Still doing night checks because there's still cows to calve. 6 weekends in a row. Colorado, keep your garbage. Nice to see. I know they're not all done calving yet, but figured it was just, we've had so much rain, as you can tell. We needed to get the first calvers out onto their little pasture here. That way that we're not gonna have any really bad flare-ups of diarrhea and just a pain to deal with. So yeah, sorry I didn't get it filmed. We were opening up the back gates and trying to let them out, and they took off, and I couldn't get my phone up and filming quick enough. So there's one still left to come out. Old Jet, she's still back in the yard feeding her baby, but she's been out and she went back in to get him. So yeah, happy, happy, happy. So yeah, there isn't too much more in the way of snow, any snowbanks still to melt. But yeah, a couple of days ago, we had another big downpour. Probably close to 6 inches of rain fell. So yeah, it's gonna be a long time to dry out. This is the face of not happy. So up until now, this truck was serviced at the local Dodge dealership. Now that it's here full time, I tend to take care of our own vehicles because it's cheaper. So I'm starting to second guess that now. Dodge. Honest to God. Before I even get into the fuel filters. The engine oil filter. I never want to hear another Dodge guy coming after us Ford guys. To change the engine oil filter in this truck. Yeah, I don't want to hear ever again. Not one of you. None of you. And I'm just talking about the engine oil filter. Not one of you. Yeah, all this to get at that engine oil filter that screws in there. See, there's the turbo. So yeah, you've got, okay, let's see how many parts is there. So that part comes off the turbo there. And then that plastic thing, I don't know if it's a watering can for the garden or what it is, that comes up here. So to get at the filter, to unscrew it, because most people normally just have that. Nobody actually has the Mopar filter pliers that you reach through that hole in the wheel well to grab said filter. So yeah, so you have to take the top of the breather box off. You have to take the hose that goes from the breather box back to the watering can. You have to take the watering can off. Then you have to take the elbow hose. Oh yeah, and there's a clamp that holds the rubber hose onto this part of this breather pipe assembly, which, by the way, this EGR cooler, this is all going to be leaving. Bye-bye. Yeah. So to try and slip that down off of there so you can break this loose because it's oxidized right onto the pipe. Oh no, you can't do that because no, Dodge added a little piece of rubber on there so that clamp can't slide back down the hose. So you have to get in there and cut it or tear it off. So yeah, not one of you. I never want to hear another feckin' peep out of the one of you. Ford, it screws in the top of the engine, screws out, you're done. Yeah, plug at the bottom, pull it out the top, drains, put the plug back in, screw the filter in, fill it up with oil and leave. This, oh my gosh. Then let's speak about the fuel filter. So, fuel filter, where is it? Let's go on an adventure. Let's shrink you down in the magic school bus. There it is. There's one of them. So you unscrew the yellow thing to let the fuel out. You unscrew that cap, but you have to run the socket down through a gap here to take the cap off, to pull the filter. That's one of them. So yeah, we're currently, down in the pits. Yeah, there's the all the big exhaust garbage can crap that is going to go on a weight restriction. So, fuel tank and fuel filter up there, directly above the drive shaft. And then yes, it has wires in it. So yeah, you at least here you can get your filter strap onto it, and you have to take the whole thing and unplug that wire because you have to unscrew that plastic sensor thing off. And like it says on the internet, don't try and unscrew it here because you'll end up breaking it and you have to replace it, and you can't run without it because the filter needs it. Yeah, these, by the way, each filter, the fuel filter, are $100 a piece. Mopar. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta unscrew it, unplug the wire, bring it out, delicately unscrew that sensor thing out of the filter. Now you've got the whole thing covered in diesel, so you gotta clean the plug in and put it all back together with the new O-rings and everything in it. And yeah, I found out, see if we can get up in here, that the locking tabs on that were already broken off before I got to it. So it looks like even the mechanics have a hard time with it. So yeah, like I said, Dodge, guys. I don't want to hear another word out of you. It's just bits of plastic and wires everywhere under here. So yeah, before I sign off and upload this video, here's a quick reference for you. So the big slip tank, I have to weld up those couple of little pinholes in the weld. So I'm using these def drums, which are, I think they're like 60 max, like right to the roof. They're about 60 gallons. So yeah, just for everybody's poops and giggles. So I can see if there are writings here. Just for poops and giggles, everybody, for the next few seconds, guess how many dollars it takes to fill each of these drums. You can kind of see it there. Oh, that's not even remotely. Yeah, that says there's 55 gallons in there, so 60, somewhere between, oh, there you go. So that's 50 gallons right there. So yeah, 45, 50. So yeah, it's about 60 gallons. So you got your guesses in, everybody? Each of those drums, drum roll. $350 a piece. Yeah, that's $700 worth of diesel right there. Yeah. Painful. Thanks, Mr. Trudeau. Now we do get some of that back because there's a form you fill in to send away to get your carbon tax, claim it back. Let's see how that works. But yeah, so there you go. So yeah, sorry I was a bit late replying to the comments in the last video and then getting this video up. It is Sunday. Finally kind of a nice evening. We've all had COVID. The other three, they had their shots, and yeah, they've had barks and all the rest of it. I didn't get the old shots and all that stuff, and yeah, just been feeling kind of cruddy. Nothing too serious, but so yeah, back on the road to recovery, and grass is growing, and let's get after. See you in the next one.